A lot of firsts for you in this film. I'm not sure if this is a first or not, but congratulations on maybe the debut of Tom Holland's mustache in a film. Big stuff. Important.
It's not my mustache.
That was my question. Is it not? Is it a fake?
I'm so honored that you think that I could grow a mustache like that. I reckon if I don't shave now until we speak on Spider-Man 27, it would still not be there.
Got it.
I'm not sure it's my look. I'm not sure it's my kind of vibe.
No shade. It's all good.
The moustache was a late idea. We had a Halloween party and my team and I all went as the average Joes. And Rachel, my makeup artist, just drew on a little moustache on herself with mascara. And Joe was like, Tom has to have a mustache when he leaves the prison. That looks so good. And Rachel was like, I just drew this on with mascara. It looks great. I really like it.
Congratulations, Tom, on Cherry. This is a challenging role, to say the least, and you really hit it out of the park, man. You should feel very proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, it struck me watching this. You're a young man, with all due respect. I can say that because I'm an elderly man. As a 24-year-old, I don't talk to a lot of actors in your situation that chase roles like this. You can go the easy way out. You're a movie star, you have Spider-Man under your belt.
Right.
Was there a point after Spider-Man where you kind of decided this is the kind of career I want to pursue, and how does Cherry kind of fit into that plan, if it does?
I think I always knew that I wanted to end up making films like this. I'm in a very lucky situation at the moment where I can kind of juggle doing both. You know, I've got Spider-Man. I've just finished a film called Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg, which is very much a sort of swashbuckling action film. And then obviously I've got films like Cherry and Devil All the Time. So for me, I love trying to do both. I love looking for films that will challenge me, for characters that are big departures from myself as a person, also big departures from characters that I've played in the past. So I don't know if it was necessarily like a decision to be like, right, now is the time to start looking for these really serious roles. It just sort of happened to pan out that way.
It's amazing to think. I mean, obviously, when you met the Russos for the Spider-Man audition, that was a big deal in and of itself. But to think of like the rewards it has given you in many different ways, of meeting Downey and having him as kind of a mentor, and having the Russos see in you not only Spider-Man, but a role like this. Do you remember meeting them and instantly clicking with them? Was there like a simpatico, like understanding between you and the Russos, or were you just sort of in your own head that day?
I remember meeting them like it was yesterday. It was in their office. It was before my audition with Downey. And basically all of the kids that were auditioning for Spidey had a sort of 25, 30 minute intro with Joe and Anth. And basically we would go through the scene. They would give us some notes prior to the audition so we could have a little bit of an insight into what the audition was going to be like. And I just remember thinking that they were so nice. I remember just thinking that, wow, they're so warm and welcoming, and I felt so comfortable in there when I felt so uncomfortable going in. You know, as a young kid, you look at these big blockbuster movies and you think, wow, the people that make these films must be really serious. They must be really, really hard to work with because they make big budget movies. And that isn't the case at all with the Russos. They're so sweet and welcoming and kind. So I immediately felt at ease. And it's interesting, I actually watched my audition tape the other day, and it seems like a lifetime ago that I was doing that. But I owe everything to them. And I think a large portion of the reason why I worked so hard on this film is that I kind of felt in debt to them. And they were really passionate about this film. You know, they're both boys from Cleveland. This is a story that has, you know, directly affected them. They've got family and loved ones that are going through a very similar experience. So because I have this sense of debt, I felt like I really needed to do justice to them. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I worked so hard.
I'm curious, like, whether it's specifically a performance that influences this role, or just generally speaking, like high watermark performances to aspire to. I mean, I think comparably, and some thematic comparisons exist too, like Tom Cruise in Born on the 4th of July. Like at that stage of his career, he didn't need to do that kind of thing. But again, he was working with Oliver Stone, and he like went for it in a big way and went on a big journey. Do you have those kind of like roles, those performances that stand on Mount Olympus for you as like the thing to aspire to, and you take on a character like Cherry?
Yeah, a role I really admire, and one that I would love to try and find my own version of it, is Edward Norton in Primal Fear. I love that kind of opportunity to almost play two different characters within the same film. I'm very lucky at the moment that I get to do that with Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man and Peter Parker are two very, very different people. But I'd love to do that in a more serious environment. Everyone keeps asking me, like, were these calculated decisions? Are you planning for the future to do this type of thing? And if I'm honest, I'm just sort of rolling with it.
Yeah, you're riding the wave.
I'm on a wave and I'm loving it, and the sun is shining, and I'll keep going until I fall off. And when I fall off, which I'm sure I will at some point, you won't want to interview me anymore. I'll swim right way back and I'll jump back on the next wave and I'll be fine.
I mean, you alluded to all the challenges of this. This is not one challenge. This is like 6 challenges at least, because there are like distinct chapters in this film. This guy goes through every permutation of challenge in his life. You must have known some of the challenges going in. Were there any surprises along the way in terms of like, oh, I didn't even think of this being so difficult?
I always knew it was going to be tough, physically and mentally. And, you know, I'm no stranger to physical challenges. Playing Spider-Man is arguably like the most physical role you could get as a young actor. So I felt pretty prepared in that sense. The thing that I wasn't ready for was the emotional onslaught that was playing this character. Day in and day out, crying and screaming and punching the walls and being exhausted and pushing myself to this horrible place. So some of the places we had to go emotionally were so awful. I think one of the biggest and most valuable assets I had while making this film was the wonderful Sierra Bravo. She was so brave and game to try anything, and we were really like a team. We were partners in crime, and she was there to pick up my broken pieces when I fell apart, and I was there for her. And to have that safety blanket in your co-star was so helpful. And I think it would have been a very, very different experience for me had I not had such a wonderful partner.
You mentioned in a recent conversation 2 mentors for you. Downey is a no-brainer, of course. Mm-hmm. You also mentioned Zendaya, which I understand, but I also worry, this is going to go to her head now. She's going to just remind you every second on set going forward, hey, mentor over here. Has she started to mention that to you or not?
No. I mean, she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she's very sensible and humble. And I think she recognizes how much she's helped me over the years, you know. I mean, becoming famous is a very, very strange thing for someone to have to go through, especially at a young age. It can be very corrupting. It's very stressful. All of a sudden, the entire world has an opinion on your life. So having someone like her in my corner who was the same age as me, who'd been through it before at a much, much higher level, was really, really helpful, because the moments where I would panic and go, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't think this is what I want in life. She was always there to kind of help me through those times of trouble, I guess.
I just didn't know if you were trying to butter her up just for a guest spot on Euphoria or something.
I keep saying that to her. I was like, when are you going to let me be in Euphoria, man? Like, Jacob and I want to be in there. I just want one scene.
She's been very kind about Cherry. Have you seen Malcolm and Marie?
I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I never had any doubt in my mind that she couldn't do or be capable of a role like that or a performance like that. She's absolutely fantastic in it. John David Washington's brilliant. The writing is amazing. But I was so proud of her. And you can tell that it was a real passion project for her, and she was really, really proud of it when she showed it to us. And it was just really nice to see that side of her. And you know, the same way I'm sure she is with me, I was just incredibly proud.
Normally, this is the part of the conversation where I would dig for secrets about your Marvel movie. I'm not going to do that because in your case, you'd actually start acting out the entire movie. So
right.
I as much as I want to know, I don't want to know the movie now.
No, you don't. Trust me, you really don't.
But I do have one question. You put on Instagram recently that you had a day that you considered one of the highlights of your career. Will we know it when we see it on screen that day, or was that a very personal thing, or can you allude to what that was without spoiling anything for me?
You'll know it. When you see the film, you'll know it.
Okay.
I can't talk about it. I want to. I really want to, Josh.
I know you do.
Me.
Don't, I don't want you to. But, I do, but I don't. Don't worry.
Yeah. I saw some of it cut together the other day, and it's pretty cool. It's really pretty cool.
You are in the danger zone. For the next 9 or 10 months, you basically have to shut up, or else you're going to...
I know. I'm going to delete my Instagram. I'm going to stop accepting phone calls. I'm not doing any more interviews. Leave me alone, everyone. I can't, because I will ruin the film.
Well, because I spoke to Anthony Mackie recently, and he was like, oh yeah, Feige gave me the next phase, told me everything. And I'm wondering, in your case, do they just not do that at this point? Do they just give you what you need to know? Or do you know way too much than you should?
I have a rough understanding of what the future of the MCU is. I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm just, and the big thing that I've realized this year, and I'm really trying to just like live in the moment and live day to day, enjoy what I'm doing. The sun is shining. Tomorrow I get to go to set with some of my best mates and make a film I'm already incredibly proud of. So I'm not trying to think about the future of Spider-Man or the future of my career, all that sort of stuff. I'm just taking it one day at a time and trying to enjoy myself.
Have you noticed if the experience of Cherry has colored your experiences on sets since and Uncharted and now in Spider-Man? I mean, these are much different kinds of movies, but like this kind of role, this kind of performance is a life-changing experience, I would think. How does it change you as an actor?
It's given me a lot more confidence in myself as an actor. You spend your entire career being incredibly vain. It's kind of what the nature of being an actor. You're always looking at yourself on screen and you go, oh, I wish I'd gone to the gym more, or I wish I'd done my hair differently and all that sort of stuff. And Cherry was the complete opposite. Cherry for me was about letting go of that vanity and allowing myself to look hideous at times and to be something that I'm not, and really, really push myself. And to lose that vanity was incredibly freeing. So I now have a very, very different relationship with the way that I tackle making films, because it isn't about how I look, it's just about how I behave. And that means that I can do way, way more than I used to be able to.
Well, congratulations, my friend. I was excited for all the opportunities that were coming your way in the wake of Spider-Man, but like seeing you and Cherry, just, you can do anything, man. So congratulations.
Thanks,
enjoy
Josh.
the moment and enjoy the rest of your shoot, and don't tell me any more secrets. Okay.
Thank you, mate. I remember our first interview. I remember it.
Did it change your life? Is that what inspired Cherry?
Yeah, that's what made me want to make Cherry. Was the first time I met you.
Oh, God. I don't know what that says.